Yo, what up, family? This is your boy, the X Genius, aka XP, and I'm just gonna get right into it. This is my response to No Boxing, No Life, a video that he did a month ago about so-called Canelo haters, and it was a interview that they were doing with Eddie Reynoso, basically saying why Canelo is pound for pound king, and you know we finally had our back and forth today. It's still going on, but I said, you know, so we got to listen to Eddie Reynoso, and he was basically saying, yeah, because that's Canelo's trainer, and I was like, so is is that because we're gonna listen to him because we're fans of boxing or fans of boxers? So he has his little spiel where he wants to put Canelo's name with Usyk and Crawford. And you know me, I said, yeah, we can say that about Usyk and Crawford being up there is you know, pound for pound king, because you know Usyk moved up to heavyweight. Crawford's done what he's done. Let's not forget Josh Taylor, and just because she's a woman, let's not forget Carissa Shields, who's undisputed in two weight classes simultaneously. But you know, that's neither here nor there. But I said that as a boxing fan, we got to take all of that into consideration because Usyk and Crawford never ducked any smoke, never made excuses about ducking anyone, and never tested positive for PED. Then he wants to make laughing faces about, well, we can say that about Usyk, but Crawford cherry picks. So Crawford cherry picks, and like I asked him, who did Crawford cherry pick? Because however you want to look at it, whether you want to say it was politics or, you know, he had to clean up his side of the street or ducking, however you want to pull it, the goalpost was moved every time Crawford has done something. So he fought who would fight him, not who he wanted to fight. Because who he wanted to fight, whether you want to say it was when he first came up, it was Thurman or Spence or Danny Garcia. The goalpost was moved and the stipulations were changed each time his name was brought up. Canelo, on the other hand, has been ducking both Charlos and Demetrius Andrade since they were all at 154, at the 154 pound weight division. Don't believe me? Let's get into it. So, when Canelo lost his belts at 154 pounds to Floyd in 2013, he didn't have any belts. Andrade was the WBO champion at 154 pounds, who started calling out Canelo 2014. Canelo ducked Andrade for a shot at the WBO title to fight James Kirkland. Then he moved up and he fought Miguel Cotto for the middleweight title. Then he defended that against Amir Khan, making Amir Khan move up 2 weight classes to fight him. And when Andrade, somewhere between the Cotto fight and the Amir Khan fight for Canelo, Andrade was stripped of the WBO 154-pound title. What did Canelo do after his first defense of the middleweight title? He moved back down to 154 pounds and fought for the WBO title that he ducked and refused to fight Andrade for, and he fought Liam Smith for it. Oh yeah, Liam Smith, the older brother of Callum Smith, who the WBC mysteriously threw their title in the mix when Canelo was fighting Liam Smith's younger brother, Callum Smith, for Callum Smith's super middleweight title for the WBA. Yeah. Ducking Benavidez. Still ducking Benavidez. But wait. There's more. Let's not forget Billy Joe Saunders. How he fits into all of this. Billy Joe Saunders was supposed to fight Andrade. Popped dirty for a banned substance. Came back from his suspension. Refused to fight Andrade coming back from his suspension. Moved up to super middleweight. And got a title. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. When Canelo said that he wanted to be the first middleweight champion, well, undisputed champion, he got the belts. He only needed one belt, which was the WBO middleweight title, which was held by Andrade. What did Canelo do? He ducked Sergey Derevyanchenko, just like Triple G did at one point for the same belt, the IBF title. He didn't want to fight Jamal Charlo. And again, he refused to fight Demetrius Andrade when he could have fought him, and one of them would have became undisputed at the middleweight, division. So that's 2 weight classes. One right there, 154 and 160, that he's ducked Andrade. We know he ducked Jermell when Jermell was signed with Golden Boy. He didn't want to make that fight with Jermell, which made it seem like, or they probably was behind it too, but Oscar De La Hoya lied to Jermell about getting the Canelo fight, so he left Golden Boy because they couldn't make the fight and they lied to him about the fight. He didn't want to fight Jamal at 154. So Jamal moves up to 160, becomes Triple G's mandatory. Triple G don't want to fight him, but Triple G lost his title to Canelo, so therefore he's Canelo's mandatory. Canelo doesn't want to fight him, so he asked the WBC to come up with a status, which we all know as the franchise status, title, whatever you want to call it. And they give that to him, and he gives the WBC championship to Jamal Charlo. So let's look at this duck list. You got Jermell. You got Jamal. You got Demetrius Andrade. You got Sergey Devenchenko. You got David Benavidez. He picks the weakest link at 175 when he fights Sergey Kovalev. When he could have fought up-and-comer Artur Beterbiev or Dmitry Bivol. Ducks them, so really don't want to add them to the mix of who he's ducked. But those other names that I named, he clearly ducked them. And for y'all that want to say, well, technically he didn't duck Sergey Devenchenko, they were in the negotiations. No, he stalled those negotiations. He stalled those. He knew what he was doing. So, if you want to talk about cherry picking, Mr. No Boxing, No Life, think about what you say before you speak.